In this episode, we'd go over training, how it is the answer to all of your problems. Yes, yours. With that being said, we also threw some questions in here, and we even mentioned Jenkos for some reason. So, you're going to have to listen to find out. I hope you enjoy the show. Welcome back to another episode of the Hatecast, and this time we talk about training and not nutrition for once. So we do have some questions that we are going to answer in this episode, and I hope you guys don't mind that we get those out of the way first, because we have been getting hammered with questions, and I really, really do appreciate it, because we could almost make an entire Q&A episode again, and I may pull an Ed to do that at a later date, so stay tuned to that. I think that may be the next one, because we've just had so many questions. So, Jamie, first of all, say hi to the people.
Hi to the people. Yeah, you fuckers are stuck with me for another episode.
And then answer this question. How would you approach training and eating for a weak 20-year-old who have a very limited amount of time on weekdays, but can go big and lengthy sections? Man, he fucking types weird. Anyway, dude can only work out on the weekends, right?
So train hard on the weekends.
Well, that would be my answer too. But we've got to make this more, I'm
not real clear on what the issue is. Like, so he can only train 2 days a week, or he can train for lengthy periods of time 2 days a week, and then, like, for little fits and starts on the week?
He says, studying for and getting straight A's, it can easily take 35 to 45 hours a week, while doing a part-time startup job that easily takes 15 to 20 hours a week.
I want to know what the hell, what undergraduate major requires that much time outside of engineering?
I actually have some really good news for you.
Tell me.
So, when it comes to eating, because he also asked for an approach to eating, the crock pot is your best friend.
Oh, especially in college. Holy shit.
Yeah, and anything that you can kind of pack with you. I mean, another little trick that I've picked up is buying thermoses on Amazon, right? And then just making up some either steroids and putting that son of a bitch, because, you know, staying hot is an issue for bacterial growth and everything like that, so you want it to stay hot when it's in a thermos. But
you're not going to get bacteria growth in the course of a day.
Oh, come on, man. Come on, man.
Oh, my God.
Don't call me out on that shit. But I'm just really freaky about that.
Yeah, you better wipe that bitch down with Purell before you eat out of it, too, because you never know what sort of bacteria could be growing on the outside of it. Holy shit. Maybe there's a mold spore that has gotten onto your Tupperware.
Mister, when you've been lazy enough to get food poisoning like 4 times, you kind of get almost fanatical about it. But that's my own fucking fault, too. That's another story for another day. Don't undercook your chicken, for fuck's sake. Anyway.
Don't eat chicken in the first fucking place.
Oh, my God.
Be a goddamn man and eat some red meat.
I do eat red. I told you. I'm not a vegetarian.
If you barbecue your food, if you smoke your meat, or you cook it low and slow for long periods of time, it's virtually impossible for that shit to go bad in unless you leave it in the back window of your car for like 2 weeks.
Oh, man. Best mode.
You can let that shit sit for a couple of days outside of refrigeration, and it's going to be fine. That's the reason why that sort of cooking was invented. So you cook it low and slow.
Long story short. I mean, so they have thermoses that you can kind of make like a soup or something and take with you to drink throughout the day.
What do you put your vagina in when you do that?
Oh, my God. Man,
would you wear a cup for that, or do you need to wear a pad?
Okay.
Do you need like spermicidal lube?
No.
Okay.
Actually, where do you get that? Anyway, but it's one of those things where people overcomplicate it. I mean, just bring your food with you. You know, there's bento boxes on Amazon that you can buy and just fucking pop in the microwave and you're good to go, right? And if your job doesn't have a microwave, I'm sorry, the place you work at sucks. But
you want to know what you can do even easier than that?
What?
Buy canned chili. Eat it cold out of the can.
There you go. There's another little secret tips and tricks that we should be charging you guys for.
Yeah, and like Campbell's turkey chili is actually pretty fucking good. It costs like $2 a can, so eat 2 cans of it a couple times a day. Solid. You don't need it. All you need is a spoon and a spoon.
And you didn't mention if your startup job was a desk job or a physical labor job, because I'm going to assume desk job.
I don't know a lot of startup jobs outside of mowing lawns that really is physical labor.
Well, you know what? I didn't even think about that, but let's just assume it's a desk job. So, like, between working, like, you finish something, take like a 10-minute rester and pop out some push-ups. You know, I mean, stupid little shit like that adds up to big things in the long term.
Or on your way home, stop at Planet Fitness and get in 30 minutes of just don't stop moving in the gym. Just jump from machine to machine. Go bananas for 30 minutes a couple times a week. A couple hours a day on Saturday and Sunday, you're gold.
And I can almost guarantee you, if you're 20, you can spare 30 minutes.
Did he preface that whole thing by saying he was weak on top of everything else?
Yes. He says for a
Dear
weak
God,
20-year-old.
But we love you, though. On top of that?
But, yeah, and then when you go, you know, for your weekend gym session, just make sure you hit it hard. I mean, you should be able to build a great physique and a strong physique in that time. I mean, I don't mean to be mean, but it's not rocket science.
Yeah, I mean, Bob Peoples was the first person to deadlift 650 at 181, and he was a farmer. So he was working like 12 hours a day, and he was still training 2 hours a day on top of that.
Yeah. So find time. Make it, you know, I mean, if it's your passion, make time for it.
Yeah.
So, the
and
other
also,
question.
don't... I wouldn't... For anybody out there who is looking to get strong, having your opening introductory adjective being weak about yourself is exactly the opposite kind of mindset you want in order to be successful at weightlifting.
Yeah, don't put yourself down, man. I mean, everybody, you know...
Yeah, go with beginner, or really any other word than weak.
Almost sounds like he's one of those beta males that are walking around and, no offense, but, you know, walking around fucking taking pictures of themselves for 20 minutes and doing a 10-minute workout.
Yeah, and then he gets pissed off because no chicks will fuck him and runs over a bunch of people with a van.
But we do love you and we appreciate you watching, and just don't beat yourself up over it. Just
don't call yourself weak or pathetic or any of the other descriptive terms that would fall into that category.
Just make a plan and stick with it. I mean, you know, if you're studying for 35 to 45 hours a week, you can do this.
You know what? I guarantee you, if somebody likes playing Call of Duty, they can find 20 minutes a day to play it.
That is fucking truth. That is the truth.
Same thing for lifting. You can find 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day.
That's what kind of drives me insane about these people who just say, oh, I don't have time, I have kids, which I have a kid, right? I'm about to pick up 2 Dobermans, and you know how much fucking work they need, right? To train them and everything and keep their nose clean. So, I mean, I'm going to have my plate full, and I'm still going to have time to train. And
yeah, I mean, like fine. I'm writing an article about Bruce Randall right now, who is a phenomenal old-school lifter. And this guy, when he was bulking super hard, he was like in the Navy or something like that, eating just an astonishing amount of calories. And his program while he was bulking was arms. Every day. No matter what, he trained arms.
And that was it. Back to the gym bros.
Hey, man. It fucking worked. He had huge arms, and then when he did diet down, he won Mr. Universe. Like, he lost like 100 pounds of fat in 4 months or something like that and won Mr. Universe.
Jesus Christ. That puts me to shame.
He was drinking 19 liters of milk at one point. Or, like 19 liters of milk a day, I think. It was just an absurd amount of milk.
Oh, boy. I bet he cleared out a room.
Oh, yeah. Sake. Oh, and he was on a ship. He was in a big steel box on the water. Like, my God.
Hell yeah. That was the best steel box to be in.
Yeah. Oh, there were a lot of eggs in his diet, too.
Jesus. Well, I think we've answered that one pretty well. So I've got this question. It kind of all falls into one, but I want to ask you the individual lifts right? And I know my opinions, and I'm gonna voice them, but I would like to hear yours. What do you think about Zerker squats? Zerker, or I don't know how you say that.
Well, let's clarify. There is basically 3 different ways to do this exercise. One is technically a Zercher deadlift, where you deadlift the bar up off the ground. For anybody who doesn't know what a Zercher is, it's Zercher. I'll explain the 3 different ways to do it. There's a Zercher deadlift, where you deadlift it up off the ground, set it on the tops of your thighs, hook your arms underneath it so that the bar is in the crooks of your arms, and then stand up with it. Then there is, well, actually, I guess there's only 2 ways to do it. Then the other way is to take it out of the rack and just do it in the crooks of your arms. Those are basically the 2 ways to do it. I think it's fun to do as a lark. I don't see any fucking reason whatsoever to do it otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, I would rather do, like, cleans and snatches, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, the guy who invented that lift was also a big fan of balancing just a barbell, not in a Smith machine, just a straight up barbell on the heels of his feet and leg pressing that way. So the man he was busy with nonsense all day long. So, I mean, if you're busy with nonsense, then have at it. But otherwise, I don't see the point.
Could you imagine fucking that up?
Oh my God, dropping it on your face?
No, I'm worried more about, like, you know, your ankle breaking or something with enough weight on there. That'd be fun. But anyway, yeah, I would rather you just do, you know, regular squats, back squats, front squats, something like that, and then just do snatches if you want. I mean, cleans. I've seen it done. It looks really good for an Instagram video. Like, it's one of those wacky lifts, but, I mean, there's other ways. There's better ways. But that's just, you know, in my opinion. So,
really, all you're doing is testing your pain tolerance.
Yeah. Yeah.
How much pain can you tolerate on your forearms? Because I tell you this, I've done it out of the rack with like 650 when I was squatting around 600.
Now this one,
it's just about enduring pain. It's not about how strong you are.
I don't know about this one. I've this next one. So suitcase deadlifts. I'm actually a fan of them, but I don't know how practical they are to put into your programming.
The only time I've ever done them was I was trying to get my deadlift up over 550. And at the time, I weighed around like 165, and I was just doing obscene amounts of deadlifting. I was deadlifting to a max, then rack pulling to a max, then doing suitcase deadlifts to a max, and doing one-arm deadlifts, and then two-finger deadlifts. All I ended up doing was like putting horrible, horrible cramps in my back that made it impossible for me to deadlift for like a year. I never really got anything out of suitcase deadlifts. I mean, if you really want to thicken your obliques, have at it. I've never met a person who was like, my waist isn't thick enough. I need to thicken that bitch up. But if you're one of those people, do you really just think your waist is too waspish? Have at it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see where they would fit, you know?
I don't understand the point. Like, unless your point is, I need, like, massive obliques, why the fuck are you doing them?
I would rather do something that would, like farmer's carries to transfer over to my deadlift than suitcase deadlifts. That's just my opinion, though. I mean, I don't know. I honestly, if you like it and you're still doing it, like, fine. Just, you know, I wouldn't make it your main deadlift.
Yeah, and why is my question, really?
Because for the grams.
Oh, Christ almighty.
I don't know. Same thing with, you know, this next one might be a little bit controversial, but Jefferson squats.
Oh, my God.
So,
nope, I'm going to let you take this one. I'm just going to start smashing shit.
Okay, they look really good on Instagram, but
no, they
practice...
don't. No, they don't. They look fucking stupid. And you look like an asshole if you do them. I don't give a fuck if Kai Green does them. I don't give a fuck who does them. It's a stupid lift, and nobody should ever fucking do it.
Yeah, but Squat Girl's doing it.
Who?
Squat Girls.
I hope she gets cancer. I don't even know who the fuck she is. I hope she gets mouth cancer.
Girls who squat on... Oh, my gosh. Okay.
I hope she gets mouth cancer too. Basically, everybody on Instagram ought to get cancer.
But we love you, and we want you to follow us on Instagram, so don't worry about it. So
have fun with your cancer, though. And if you do Jefferson squats, I hope you get some kind of, like, testicular cancer on top of it.
The issue I have with Jefferson squats is there comes a point where it, and I truly do believe this, is it becomes not as valuable as other variations.
At what point has it ever been valuable? At what point does violently ramming a barbell into your nutsack transfer into any kind of muscular gain or strength gain ever?
To be fair, I have long arms, so it's okay. But no, I guess people are just want to do it for a squat variation, but I mean,
it's not even it's a deadlift variation.
I know.
Oh my
but it
God.
has squats in the name. Don't worry about it.
I'm getting dizzy. I'm getting dizzy over here.
This one might make you fall over, and I've seen people fall over doing this. Reverse deadlifts.
Are you referring to a barbell hack squat?
No, I'm talking about reverse deadlifts.
You mean taking the bar out of the rack, lowering it to the ground, tapping it on the ground, and standing back up with it?
No.
That's a reverse deadlift. A barbell hack squat is behind the back.
Oh, that's maybe the one I'm talking about, yeah.
That's. I realize that everybody is just beating their dicks over Bugenhagen doing 700 on a hack deadlift. You know what? If you want to do them, fucking do them. The only thing I've ever gotten out of it is a great deal of pain in my knees. Just an astonishing. If you look at the physics of it, the amount of shearing stress you put on your knees by doing that is ridiculous. And if you have any kind of ass at all, I mean, it's preposterous what you're doing. But I mean,
it's awkward. It's always awkward too. Like there's no way to make it not awkward.
You're banging the bar into the back of your into your hamstring if you have any hamstrings whatsoever, and then you're slamming it in your ass. The whole thing's uncomfortable. I mean, if you really want to do hip thrusters in the gym, just find a girl and bang her out in the back. You don't have to.
Make her wear a weighted vest, though.
Yeah, there you go.
But, all right. So the last one we have when it comes to these ridiculous questions, some of them are ridiculous, some of them aren't. This one's kind of interesting. Spider curls. Have you ever heard of spider curls?
I remember reading about spider curls back in the day.
Okay, well they've kind of come in vogue again.
Are they? Oh, they're preacher curl with the flat side of the pad, right?
No, what they are is they're chest supported curls lying down on a bench. So, well, actually, let me rephrase that. The actual spider curls is you doing like this weird. I'll show a picture of it.
I'm just going to Google it and see what a spider curl is.
But the modern iteration of it is it's basically a chest supported rows with somebody with their chest, kind of like T-bar rows, how their chest is on the bar or on the pad. And
yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. It's so you turn the preacher bench around so that your chest is on the angled part where you generally put your arms for the preacher curl.
Right.
And then your triceps are against the flat pad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's essentially the same as doing a concentration curl with a barbell. I mean, yeah, I guess they're fine. I don't see any reason not to do them.
I think they're a bitch to set up in some gyms. And I think that you'd be better off doing something else. You know, because that's kind of the common theme with a lot of these weird, wacky exercises, you know, is like, okay, they look good for Instagram, or they don't. They look like you're just trying something wacky. Like everybody wants a secret, right?
I guess. I think you're on to something with this Instagram shit, because I've been wondering what the fuck is going on with these Jefferson deadlifts or squats or whatever. Everybody wants to look like the guy doing them.
So
yeah, see, I used to do old-timey strongman exercises because I just wanted something fun to do in the gym. I never filmed them. So,
Yeah.
I do one-arm snatches, I do one-arm, like, clean and press and stuff like that. But I never got, but, like, they all had direct transfer to something I was trying to do. Like, I wanted to develop more strength pulling off the ground, or I wanted a stronger overhead. I didn't want to look like the biggest dipshit in the gym.
Well, I think it comes down to kind of a throwback to kind of Flex Magazine and Muscle Mags, because when Arnold did the chest fly, everybody wanted to do the chest fly. They didn't care because it was Arnold, you know. But the mentality has changed too in trainees today. It's not so much about well, has this helped me? No. If no, I'll stop doing it. If yes, I'll keep doing it. Right? It's more to do with like, oh, what's the next trend I can hop on? So because
I want to look like I lift weights, but I don't actually want to do any of the difficult work of it.
yeah, and it's the selling of you can be me that's so prevalent on Instagram. You know, these guys who, by the way, most of them lease their Ferraris and they don't actually own them. And they lease that vacation house, right? They rent it on Airbnb. They don't actually own it. It's kind of that flashy kind of look at me lifestyle that people want to kind of emulate. People have been doing that for years, but I just think that this, and I'm going to sound like an old man here. I'm channeling my old man here.
I'm letting you say it rather than me.
This generation and even my generation is just so impressionable, and they want it so bad, but they don't actually want to put the steps. Like, you don't want to be someone who's absurdly rich, because that takes a long time. You don't want to be someone who's absurdly muscular, because it takes a lot of work. You just want to do Jefferson squats because somebody who's doing Jefferson squats is extremely muscular, and you think that that is the shortcut to lead you there, and that's wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I remember reading when I was researching an article recently about I don't know if you remember Paul Dillett. He was like one of the first mass monsters of the '90s, and he quit bodybuilding because he just walked up to somebody who was like, "I'm sick of being a fucking pincushion. I quit," and he quit. That was it.
Right.
He was just fucking. He was done of, because I guess you just literally turn into a pincushion at some point where you're just pinning all day long, and that sounds miserable. So I mean, I completely understand it. And also, Flex Magazine died. Did you know that?
I know. It retired.
There's a bodybuilder at Powerhouse, and we kind of knew each other by sight, but had never spoken. And I met him the other day at a food truck festival, and super cool guy. And he just made it into the UK Flex, and I was like, oh, well, that's awesome. It's weird you didn't make it into the US. And he was like, oh, it doesn't exist anymore. So
yeah,
sad.
Well, it is, and we can all have a moment of silence later. But in the meantime, we can answer, what do we think about, and how can we... I'm jumping to another question here in case you couldn't tell of that masterful transition.
Oh, yeah, your segs are outstanding today.
How would you implement if the person feels that they want to do it, right? Because that may come into play with answering this question, but how would you implement cardio into a strength-based program? Now, with that being said, cardio also being stuff like boxing, sprints, weighted carries, stuff like that. So, how would you implement it, and how much of an importance would you put it in the priority list?
I gotta ask you to repeat that, because somebody just messaged me and said that I made it into another Jason Blaha video and my head fell off.
Oh my god. Well, interesting. But how would you implement cardio into a strength-based routine? Also, that includes stuff like boxing, sprints, weighted carries, and stuff like that. And where would you put it on the priority list? Like, would you put it for like weekend work, where you're not really doing anything that weekend, so you just go in there and do some weighted carries or something, or how would you do that?
Well, I mean, when I first started weightlifting, it was like I was playing 3 sports a year, and I did that into college, and then I was doing MMA training and JKD and shit. You just, I don't structure it. I just do it. You run in the morning if you want. Like I used to run 3 miles a day every day. Run in the morning, train at night. In the summers when I didn't have school, I would run and train and swim and play basketball and play football all day long. I didn't really structure it. I just did it. I'm not real clear on how to answer this question because I don't really understand it. I don't really. Does there need to be a structure that I'm completely unaware of? The Chinese Olympic weightlifting team, they all run at least a mile before like every day's morning session.
Yeah.
Arnold used to run a lot. All the bodybuilders in the 70s and 80s ran. And I don't recall any of them actually making a big deal about it. They just did it.
Well, because everybody wants to overanalyze things.
Yeah, you really don't need to. Just if you want to fight and lift weights, then fight and lift weights. I mean, at wrestling camp we had three sessions a day plus lifting, and lifting was right after the like middle session. So we'd wrestle for 3 hours in the morning, take a couple hours off, eat, wrestle for a couple hours, lift for an hour, take a couple hours off, wrestle for a couple more hours.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of thought that needs to go into it. Just do it.
The only thought that I would put into it is make sure that, first of all, the cardio that you choose is not going to negatively impact your recovery. Because you can only do max effort sprints for so long before you start getting shin splints and shit like that, for most people, right? And what ends up happening is your squat suffers. Your deadlift suffers. Or, if you're boxing, like, almost, religiously, your bench will suffer because things start to hurt. If you eat enough to recover from that cardio, I don't think it's a problem. If you like doing cardio, that's completely fine. However, when it starts affecting your other lifts and you start actually getting negative results from it, and I'm not saying that cardio burns muscle, I'm saying that
look at Alex Vaeda. The guy does fucking ultra marathons, and he's still. I mean, the last I checked, he was benching like 450, pulling 700, squatting in the 6s.
I can guarantee you he takes recovery seriously, though. I mean, eating and recovery, food and recovery. I mean, those are the two things. There's a lot of people who want to be hybrid athletes like Alex. There are not a lot of people who can be. And that's the unfortunate truth. But with that being said, we can kind of go into our topic here, which is training, and just the specifics of it.
I truly... Speaking of training, I haven't watched the video yet, but Bugenhagen just posted a video saying people should stop doing partials, which I find extremely curious.
Well, we might have to watch that and comment on it later.
Yeah.
But, so, something I would like to bring up before we start this is the fact that everyone almost, nationally is starting to age really, really badly. And a lot of that comes from, some of these genetic switches that we have that turn on and off. The ones that are supposed to be on are generally the ones that, we chase turning on, like running turns on genetic switches, weightlifting, resistance training turns on genetic switches. We don't have as much shit to deal with now that we're out of the, prehistoric times where we were going around killing and hunting our food and everything like that, right? We're very modernized. And training is one of the best things that you can do in order to control and turn on those genetic switches. I mean, it fights everything from depression to aging to everything else. And why would you want to live your life, the rest of your short life? Because let me tell you something. Life may seem long, 80 years, 90 years, 100 years may seem long, but it's going to be a hell of a lot longer if you are not fit by the time you reach that number. And that is something everybody needs to do, is they need to take it seriously. This is a serious issue. I'm seeing people my age that look 50.
Jesus. From what? Just using a shitload of gear?
No, just not training. Living the 9-to-5 jobs. Living that, not 9-to-5 life, but, the average American, They age so fucking poorly, and I do truly believe that training is one of the ways to fight that. Right.
I was actually having this conversation with Jay Ashman. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's opening up a new strength gym in Kansas City.
He's the guy we're going to have on the podcast, right?
Yeah. And he played pro rugby. He's competed at a really high level in a bunch of different sports. And he and I were discussing this the other day because he was saying to me that he just can't train heavy anymore. And I was like, what the fuck is going on with you guys? Like, I keep having people tell me, oh, bro, you'll understand when you turn 40. And it's like, motherfucker, I'm 41. And I'm training harder than I ever have. And it just keeps getting easier. Everybody's, like, bitching about how hard it is to get out of bed. And I'm like, I don't fucking get it. Like, but I guess it's just diet and everybody's saying, like, years ago, I was taking myself to Snap City because of the way I trained. No, everything's fine. Like, literally all my joints are fine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, another thing, too, is, the lack of physical activity. I mean, we were meant, I'm a true believer, and we were meant to walk at least a mile a day. At least. Because of
we're meant to do very violent physical activity every day. So,
right.
If you're training slow and controlled, you're doing it fucking wrong, in my opinion.
And I mean, that's why, because stress comes into play, and weightlifting is a stress reliever and everything like that. But it's not just a stress reliever for me. It's like, if I have anything that pisses me off, and I do, like, rounds on the bench, or if I do, if I do some pull-ups or something like that, like, I can think more logically. It's kind of crazy that I didn't implement this years ago, I've been training for a long time, but even before that, when I was, being picked on when I was a kid at school, if I would have just trained, I would have been able to think logically out of some of the situations I got myself into, It's one of those things where training is so powerful. It's the most underutilized form of improvement of health and improvement of cognitive function that you can imagine ever existed. It's almost like if you could have a pill that made you better in absolutely everything. Well, that pill is exercise,
Also sleep.
Sleep is important too, yes. And we'll get to that here in a bit. But just the overall benefits to training on your cognitive function, on your mental health, on your physical health, on your, just your confidence. Fuck. I can walk into a room and not be afraid to take my shirt off. Holy shit. How much of a confidence booster is that to me, being that fat kid from, whatever. It's just so amazing. I know I get off on rants like this sometimes, but it's just, it really is just a preposterously amazing thing. That just
and the same goes for all these people who have a fucking complex about their height. I had a guy talking to me the other day, and he was like, he was carrying on about this guy from the gym who was, like, disagreed with his training methods, and I was like, who fucking cares, man? Like, what you're doing is working for you, so, like, who gives a shit? He was like, yeah, well, he's a multi-millionaire, and he's, like, 6 feet tall, and I'm like, who the fuck cares how tall he is, and what does his money have to do with how he trains? Like, what are we talking about? And he was like, yeah, well, we're both short and poor, and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, that is the most bizarre way to go through life. Because when I walk into a room, I don't feel like, oh, I'm fucking short. Nobody's going to pay attention to me. I just walk into a room and start fucking talking. Like, I don't know if that comes from lifting or if it just comes from me being an asshole. But, like, I've never noticed my height, really. other than it's a benefit in many ways. So, yeah, I agree with you. Training improves your life drastically in every possible way.
Yeah, and why would you want to be like 60 or 70 years old and not be able to bend down because your back fucking hurts so much? I mean, for fuck's sake, people just allow themselves to get way out of fucking hand, and I'm tired of it. I mean, I can't, it's a personal choice.
And then we got to take care of them in their old age? Go fuck yourself. I'm just going to let you die in your own shit and piss.
Now, I understand if it's an assisted living situation where you're like, there's something wrong with you mentally because Alzheimer's or whatever, but even Alzheimer's is linked to fucking not being healthy early in life. I mean, just fuck the fuck up. Take control. I mean...
And take some fucking Cannibal Genius.
There you go. But it's just...
Hey, as we know, it reverses all the effects of Alzheimer's and aging on the brain.
And it helped me with my brain fog today, so...
There you go.
But it's just one of those things where it's just so powerful that people just completely brush it off. I mean, I know a lot of people that would rather, just completely go through life, earning a paycheck, and then just die in their 50s. Do you understand how depressing that is? I mean, I don't know. It's a complicated issue. Never actually
lived any part of their life.
That's right.
It's just like the guy I was talking about. He messaged me one day and he was like, yeah, so when did you go to Austria and why were you in Austria? And I was telling him about all the different countries I've been to and I've lived in, and he was like, well, I've been to the Jersey Shore. And it's like, well, dude, just get in your car and go places on the weekend. Like, I've been to just about every state in the U.S. except for, the shitty ones and Alaska and Hawaii. And I was like, why don't you just, he likes to train different places, I assume, go train at different places. Go check out, Warhouse and Reading, and go check out, this gym in D.C. And he was like, no, I don't feel comfortable going places. And I was like, why are you even asking me these fucking questions then? But I like you were saying, I don't understand. That's no way to go through life. He basically just lives in a closet and then trains, and that's his whole life. I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do, but don't bitch to me about it.
Yeah, and I'm not one of those people that say that, everybody has to train, because I know it's not for everybody. I know some people...
No, and I want most people to fuck out of my lifestyle in my gym, but...
Yeah, but I get frustrated with the fact that there's so many people that can benefit from it that will just end up in their 50s or something, just beaten down and broken. I mean, the age of retirement's going up, people. It's not going down. It will never, in my lifetime, go down. So,
do you know why the age of retirement is set at 65? And do you know who set it there? Otto von Bismarck. I think 1867, and it's because nobody lived that long. So if you made it to 65, you were on the fucking dole because they were like, holy shit, pin a medal upon that man's chest. Yeah. He has lived to 65. Now people just think, oh, well, I lived this long, and now I can just fucking sit on my ass the next 30 years.
60's young.
Go fuck yourself. I don't want to hear about that.
I mean, for fuck's sake, life extension has come such a long way. And people live, into their, the median age, the average life expectancy is going up too. Just like the age of retirement. So make sure...
Well, except for the fact that people still think they ought to be drawing Social Security at 65.
Well, you can't help
it. So you're going to be on the dole for 30 years? Fuck that shit.
But at the same time, make sure that you're functional in your 60s, 70s.
Yeah, or just hang yourself.
There's interesting research going on right now about all-cause mortality in older folks, and they believe it's a link to muscle. They believe it's a link to lack of muscle atrophy, age-related atrophy. Just because those people all the time that putting up dishes in their fucking counter, and then they break a hip. And it's
also bone loss. You see an X-ray of me, and it looks like my bones are made out of nuclear material because they are phosphorescent. Because I have a tiny, tiny frame. My bones from all the heavy lifting I've done are just they might as well. I might as well be a neutron star, pretty much. I'm just the densest thing on Earth. But like, so I'll never. I mean, it's virtually impossible for me to break a bone. Like, I'll get avulsion fractures because my tendons are so fucking strong. They just rip chunks out of the bone, but the bone doesn't break and the tendons don't snap. So like, just if people would just stop being such fucking pussies. But then it comes to the other side of it, which is we got to start policing our scene. There are a lot of people that we just need to be like, look, get the fuck off Instagram, get out of my lifestyle, stop lifting weights, stop pretending you're a fucking poser, like move on with it. It's like when I was growing up, all these kids wearing Stussy and pretending like they were skaters. Like they didn't even own a skateboard. It's like, put away your Thrasher magazine and get the fuck away from me. Like, I'm going to go skate. You do your own thing. Like, I don't know, play tiddlywinks or just get the fuck out of here. And it's the same with lifting now. It drives me crazy.
Or the rave scene in Jinkos. I mean,
you know. I'm getting a pair of Jinkos. I'm going to rock them this summer. I'm going to go see fucking ICP.
Fucking do it. But
the thing is, I don't know how you get Jinkos as dirty as Juggalos get them. Like, they must live in a dumpster and never change their clothes. Because they are just the filthiest people. I really would love to bang a Juggalette, though. Like, just...
Juggalette? Yeah.
Yeah, just grab one of those filthy fucking sluts in her nasty Jenkos by her fucking dreadlocks and just bang her out, like, while people are pouring Faygo over us. I think that'd be a good time.
Get 3 of them and juggle the Juggalettes.
Look at you. I love it. Yeah, the only time I've ever had sex publicly was, there's that big horse race in South Carolina where everybody wears the big hats.
Were you involved in a donkey show? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
No. I went to the thing, and all you do is you tailgate it. I forget what the fuck it's called. Tucker Max wrote about it. And I got obliterated and got into like 3 fist fights at this thing. And then on the way home, I'd had my shirt torn off me in one of the fist fights. And so I just grabbed this fat girl on the bus, because we had a charter bus, and just fucked her in the aisle in front of everybody. It was one of my finer points, I think.
That's like the ultimate primal form of dominance.
It was not my classiest move. Not at all, but I got a lot of high fives. And yeah, she got made fun of a lot for that.
Legendary.
Yeah, I do what I can. I was referred to as the Techno Viking in grad school after that.
There you go.
Because it was a grad school charter bus.
But speaking of charter buses, I mean, being... that was a poor segue. I want to go back to height, is what I was trying to go back to. Yeah. Height. I don't care.
Oh my god, don't say height.
It'll be fine.
Height is not a goddamn word, you son of a bitch.
So, anyway, I'm 6'5", so my all-cause mortality is up, right? Like, I am above 6 foot, I am above the average height, I will die sooner. That is just apparently, what's going to happen via statistics, right? Same thing with being under 5 foot. And especially for those in that category, you need to make sure that your health and your fitness is on point. Because...
Ooh, dwarves?
Yeah.
Oh, you ever bang one? I came very close, but I got her too hammered on gummy bear shots, and she started puking everywhere, and she got thrown out of the bar.
Well, I'll talk about that later. But it's just one of those things. It's just one of those things that
killing me.
People need to take seriously. And it's not that time consuming. It's not. People always complain about the time that it takes to do this, but it's not time consuming at all.
Get a goddamn Bowflex. 20 minutes a day. Get it done.
Yeah.
God damn.
But on this, we do have another question we're going to answer before we kind of wrap this thing up.
You got to answer this midget question first. Inquiring minds want to know.
I can't right now.
What? Right now?
Yes.
Okay. That's
right.
That's lame. Oh, speaking of people who are, absurdly and ridiculously and unnecessarily tall like yourself, the Andre the Giant documentary on HBO is excellent. Really, really excellent.
I've
And
still got
holy
to sit down
shit,
and watch that.
you don't realize what a miserable life that man had. I mean,
It was fucked
you
up,
know,
yeah.
he was famous and everything, but like when they talk about how he couldn't piss on an airplane, he would take these flights to Japan to wrestle in Japan, and he didn't fit in the bathroom on the plane, so they had to like draw a curtain for him and have him piss in a bucket. Like, that's miserable. The poor man.
Also, the ultimate form of dominance. But
Pissing in a bucket, or pissing on a girl, or a girl pissing on you.
Pissing on a girl in a plane.
Yeah, I've never done that.
Hey, bucket list time.
I've had 4 or 5 girls piss in my mouth on a first date, but I've never pissed on a girl on a plane.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That needs to be a movie, and it needs to be done. So, balls in your court, sir.
Snakes on a plane, too. Trouser snakes.
Oh my god. I'm gonna die. So...
Trouser snakes on a plane.
We've gone over the importance, Jamie, on topic here. We've gone over the importance of lifting, and virtually everybody needs to do it, not only for mental health, physical health, life expectancy, and all those other things that we know that it improves, right? But
I have shoehorned just an unnecessary number of horrible sexual anecdotes into this episode as well, so I feel good about that.
It is a complete episode now. But
it is.
So how do we go about doing that? What is your style of training like? What are you doing now? Just out of, just so that people know. Like, what do you do to train right now?
So whereas I used to kind of mix and match movements and body parts in training, now I've kind of fallen back into, I'll have like one, I guess, plane of movement that I'll focus on. Right. So, like, it really comes down to body part training at the end of the day. I'll do, like, for instance, 2 days ago, I did shoulders. And so I started out with Klokov presses, worked up to, I hadn't done Klokovs in like 4 or 5 years, and was just crushing them, and worked up to like 235 for a bunch of singles. And then went down to 225 and did a bunch of singles and a couple of doubles. And then went down to like 205 and did some triples. And then I did seated machine presses, and I did a whole shitload of like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8s with that. I think my first set was like a set of 25, and then worked my way down. Then I did cable laterals. Rear laterals, like on a machine.
Yeah.
Basically, I just fucking jump from thing to thing, and just whatever interests me, I do it. I have absolutely no training plan whatsoever when I hit the gym. I usually don't even know what I'm going to train until I get there, unless I'm going to squat, in which case I have to bring my squat shoes. So, like, then I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to squat today. Otherwise, I just, like, is it a wrist wraps day or a wrist straps day? Yeah, it's really, there's no rhyme or reason. I mean, I'll train shoulders 3 times in a week sometimes. Sometimes I'll squat 3 times in a week. Sometimes I'll pull 3 times in a week. It really depends on how I feel that day. What hurts. That's a lot of it, is if I'm too sore to actually, because I'll train shit if it's sore, but if I'm like cripplingly sore, or if I'm cramping or something, or knotting, then I've been having a problem with my left pec knotting. So if I bench twice in a week, usually the next week I'll have to go once because I'll have this knot in my left pec. Shit like that. It's pretty intuitive.
So you're more for the auto regulation of training. You're more.
Yeah, I plan nothing. So some weeks I'll train 7 days in a week. And I'll train for like 2 to 3 hours at a time, and then the next week maybe I'll train 3 times in that week, and then maybe do like band curls and shit like that 2 other days at home.
Yeah. So my style, and that's great. I like the audio regulatory stuff as well, but my style is more of I plan out a vague outline of what I want to do, and then
you were planning this month's training in December, weren't you?
I was planning. Yes, I was.
which made
But
me giggle my ass off, I have to say.
you know what, mister? It's okay. It'll be fine. Like,
I think
also,
it's adorable.
it's a schedule thing, too.
Do you plan out,
So,
like, do you lay out your clothes, like, 3 days in advance as well?
no. I'm not that neurotic yet.
Do you match your socks? Like, do your socks have to match?
No.
Interesting.
Yeah. Everything in my life is complete and utter chaos except for the gym.
I thought I had you all figured out there.
No. No. I can't even organize my desk. It's really bad. But at the same time, like, I do have a plan. I go in there. I've been squatting, or training legs, I should say, twice a week for, God, 2 years. I'm still not crippled, by the way. But it's one of those things where my style of training is just have a plan, go in there, do it, get it done. Kind of like the old approach that Eddie Cohn used to take. You know, he had certain reps that he had to hit, certain lifts that he had to hit, and then the rest was just, he threw in some isolation movements. So, but that's just my style of training. That's what I prefer. That's what works for my lifestyle. And I think the importance of this episode is just find out what works for you. Just like those questions we answered about the Jefferson squat, the reverse deadlift, suitcase deadlift, all that stuff. If it's working for you, keep doing it. If you want to try something different, follow our advice, but you don't have to. That's the great thing about training, is it's your playground, you know? And as I said before, my whatchamacallit here, my lifts, I do kind of auto-regulate because I do like what I feel is close to my 1 rep max for the day, and then I adjust my weight from there, right? And that's one of those things that I've felt that has helped me tremendously.
It's very Bulgarian of you.
Heck yeah. But
What I just sent you will haunt your dreams.
all right. All right, I'll read that later. So,
Oh no, you just read the
come
title so
on.
everybody knows what it says.
Blogger turns skin removed into designer vagina surgery.
Her labia were too big, I guess. So she had the excess skin removed, which I find horrifying because I love big labias, and made it into a necklace.
What was the point of this?
She's an attention whore, I assume.
Her doctor diagnosed a cyst caused by friction because of the excess skin on her labia, and she was advised to have it removed. So there was a medical, and then she went full crazy blogger. Okay, I gotcha. This is interesting. After the operation, Tracy asked her surgeon if she could keep the skin. That's kind of a weird thing to ask your doctor, by the way. I would not suggest that. You will get all kinds of weird looks.
I feel like
Jesus Christ.
I feel like this article has to be bullshit because that's medical waste. They can't give you medical waste.
I don't think. That was my thinking too. But if she's in another country, that could have something else to do.
Oh, was this in another country? I didn't catch that part of it.
I'm trying to look here, but it's. This is fucking devolved. Hold on. Tracy isn't afraid of
Do you mean depraved?
I'm sorry. Tracy isn't afraid of utilizing whatever bodily parts or fluids she has to hand in her quest for fitness and happiness. She has made headlines before talking about her love of sperm smoothies and semen facials. Welp. You never go full crazy blogger. And I think she did.
You know what? People's desire for attention is very strange to me. I don't understand why. How could you possibly need the attention of strangers that badly?
Maybe because she didn't train hard enough.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't have an answer for that one. But we're completely derailed. We're completely fucked. It's okay, though. We're going to finish up with 2 more questions that we have here that were suggested for this episode. So, least favorite exercises for you.
Least favorite exercise. So do we want to divide this into ones we hate the most and then ones that we think are the most useless, or do one or the other, or
ones you hate the most?
Ones I hate to do, that I hate to perform the most.
Correct.
You know, interestingly, it used to be overhead presses. I was just atrocious at them, and I hated them. And now overhead pressing is absolutely my favorite thing to do in the gym. You know what? I'm going to be controversial. I despise deadlifting. I have not deadlifted in the gym since 2011, and my deadlift has consistently gone up in competition.
That's fair.
In fact, it might even be before 2011. I think 2008 might have been the last time or 2010, sometime around in there. Yeah, I haven't deadlifted in the gym in about 10 years, and have no interest in ever doing it again. Don't like it.
Now that's what it is. Then you just don't like it, right?
No, I fucking hate it, and it crushes my squat. Like if I deadlift, I can't squat because my back is just completely mangled.
Right. Well, I will go ahead and say that my least favorite exercise, because of something that happened when I was young, right? So when I was 400 plus pounds, I decided it would be a good idea to completely just dive bomb into a pool that was only 6 foot deep. Now, mind you, I was 6'5" by the time I was 15.
Would you bash your face off the bottom of the pool?
No, it was cannonball. So, tailbone, and it grew weird. And because of that, yep.
Do you have a tail? You have a vestigial tail?
No, I have a bone growth. It's like this bony growth, like where my tailbone is, and it's sometimes painful. So, but kids will be kids, right? Well, apparently this kid can't do fucking lunges without some fucking pain. So, that would be my least favorite.
Oh, walking lunges are up there too. I don't know what, but you got to be some kind of freakish masochist. There are so much better ways to train your legs than walking lunges.
Yeah, but Ronnie did it.
God, they suck.
Yeah, but Ronnie did it.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't see any of these fucking people at Powerhouse. I don't see them throwing 315 on their back and going out in the parking lot with it. I see them using those stupid little fucking 100-pound barbells and waddling up and down the goddamn gym with them.
Also,
and that's in a badass gym.
Yeah. I mean, you also got to understand that Ronnie was a freak in every way possible. There's no fucking way that Ronnie couldn't walk down the street and gain muscle. I mean, there are very few out there like Ronnie Coleman. And, you know, because he did something does not mean it's necessarily... I mean, look at his... I mean, he paid the price for his muscularity, too. 2 fake hits.
He has a heart attack like every 45 minutes now, doesn't he?
No, it's mainly the back stuff now. It's the... he had a spinal fusion done.
And holy shit, have you seen fucking Dave Palumbo? He looks like... if somebody had acromegaly and like a wasting disease at the same time. It's bad. Like his forehead, you could show a drive-in movie on. And I mean, we could speculate as to the reason behind that.
That's due to hair loss. He's explained that.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah. So he has
a 400-pound head due to weight loss or due to hair loss.
He's been on finasteride, Durastride or whatever. Yeah, finasteride. Yeah, for like years now because of the hair loss that he experienced when he was competing.
That's why his head is 4 times the size of a normal human's.
No, his head is that size because he used insulin and growth hormone, maybe.
Oh, all right. I thought we were skirting that topic.
Maybe.
I'm
not going to confirm nor deny.
Allegedly. But he weighs 175 pounds now. I mean, he looks horrific because he's got these giant hands and then his giant head and then the rest of him's tiny. His neck, I don't even know how his neck holds up his head.
It's allegedly why. And by the way, when I say allegedly, I mean he's gone over it. which is he's pretty open about the stuff he did when he
Oh,
was
is he?
competing. Yeah.
Well, he looks bad. He looks real bad. And I thought he looked bad when he was a bodybuilder because he was.
I don't know. He's in his 50s, man. So I don't know.
I tell you who won't look like that in 10 years. This guy. He has 2 thumbs, and not going to look like that in 10 years.
Well, we have one more. We have 2 more questions. I'm going to try and sneak in this last one, but the first one is, what's our favorite exercises that we love to do no matter what? Hands down, favorite. Want to do them over and over again. Fucking crazy.
My favorite is Viking presses on I believe it's the Bodymaster 300. It's a front squat machine that you can do Viking presses on, and I could do those literally for days on end. I love them. You can just heave around a shitload of weight. That is the best stress reliever to me whatsoever. It puts no impact on your body whatsoever, and I mean, you'll just end up like can't move your arms the next day. Don't give a shit. You want to go back in and do them again.
Well, I'm going to be a basic bitch here for a minute, right? And I'm going to say incline press, incline bench.
Really?
Yeah, well, I used to like pull-ups a lot, and then I got heavy enough where the pull-ups started to suck. And then I decided that, hey, incline press just feels fucking amazing on my chest and stuff like that.
That sounded
just
borderline sexual the way you said it.
It was. Actually, you have no idea. There's apparently this girl that can come to orgasm every time she leg presses. I read that.
There was at least one girl who trained at Worlds in Tucson who used to sound like she was coming every time she leg pressed.
This is devolution, sir.
It's got to be.
Come on, man.
How is that devolution?
It's not devolution. It's devolving. Yeah.
How
I
are we
can't speak
devolving?
right now. Because we just brought up leg press. I know I was the one to bring it up, but I have one more question.
Oh.
So 100% a dumb question, but what does Jamie consider a low dose / minimum effective dose for stuff like orals and sust? I see more and more guys looking to get a different perspective from the current massive doses recommended by the vocal minority on forums that don't know how to make any gains any other way.
I mean, my buddy Yules, he's on TRT right now because he does Krav Maga and he caught a kick wrong and popped one of his testicles, and he's on TRT and he's doing like 300 megs a test a week, and he's fucking killing it. He did 1504 in his first meet at 181 raw, and he's only been training for a year. He's doing great. 300 of sus is plenty, and I really like 20 megs of VAR a day. That'll do. I mean, a great deal for most people. You really don't. All these massive fucking doses, you really don't need to. In my opinion, you don't need to do them. I mean, yeah, if you want to compete against guys like, that I'm not going to name any names, but if you want to get into the animal cage, yeah, I guess run 9 grams a week. But like, I don't know. I've been around those guys at meets. I'm the guy who will take people out drinking. Literally, like my 3rd deadlift is done, and I'm at the bar drinking, waiting to get my check for winning the meet. Everybody else is half dead. Like they got to go back to their hotel room and sleep for 6 hours and fucking have people hang bags for them in their hotel room. Like, I'm just not into that. Like, I'd much rather go get fucking drunk after a meet and go out dancing. Well, after I broke my world record, nobody else went out and fucking partied. I went to a rave. Like, I was hanging out in a bar listening to Pantera, getting a dog to do backflips for Ice Cubes, and then went to a rave. Like, everybody else went and they were just laying around half dead. I'm just not into that. Like, live your fucking life,
Well, some of that has to do with weight cutting for shows and not growing into shows, which I'm actually more of a fan of growing into competition.
Dude, I cut 20 pounds to make weight.
Yeah, but some people can't handle it, man. You've seen those guys.
I call those people vaginas, but
you've seen those guys that are fucking sitting there breathing hard, breathing heavy. It's like, oh my god, I lost a pound. What's wrong? Like, come on.
Yeah,
But,
you do it. I like the way you do it because you do it. You do it old school. You do it the Kevin Levrone way, and the Sylvester Stallone used to cut from 200 to 165, so he'd be fucking shredded, and then he would bulk back up. Like he'd use some test and some D-ball and shit, and bulk back up, but keep that level of leanness. Like I think that's a cool way to do it.
yeah, I mean, and I've also been experimenting with things like little. I hate this phrase, but mini cuts, which is basically I'm getting too fat. I need to diet for 6 weeks. Like, it's fine. I'm not going to lose any appreciable amount of muscle mass. Like, fucking get over it and then go back to bulking. Because the majority of your time, if you're lucky enough to not lose, multiple hundreds of pounds like I did. I actually lost 220 at some point. Or 230. Actually, I lost more than that a little bit. But anyway, so your goal should be to be in a surplus the majority of your lifting career.
Yeah. There's actually a diet for that. It's called the ABCDE diet. It was popular. I think Muscle Media 2000 made it popular. It was some Swedish scientist invented it.
Oh,
I think it was 2 weeks of bulk and then a week of low-calorie dieting and then go back to 2 weeks of bulking, as I recall.
I just don't think that's long enough. I just don't think that's long enough.
It was real popular back in the 90s, but
I'm more a fan of like having, 6 to 8 weeks followed by like 3 weeks of dieting if I need to. And if I don't, fuck it. Continue. I mean, you can be in a calorie surplus, like a true calorie surplus or a food surplus, because people hate using the words calories now. You can be in a food surplus for like a year without gaining like an ungodly appreciable amount of fat if you do it right.
Yeah.
Just get lean, then bulk for that, 8 months to a year, and then fucking get ready for the summer, baby. And that's it. Like, that's really, there's no rocket science involved. Like, you'll feel healthier, your joints will thank you, and, all that. But a lot of these guys, what the problem is with the, like you're saying, getting the animal cage, well, a lot of those guys diet pretty severely because they let themselves get too fat, right? It is my true belief. Like, if you have to lose more than 10 pounds, generally, for most people who do not handle diets well, you will lose a bit of strength, and that's not where you want to be when it comes to. So I would rather see people grow into shows instead of lose weight into shows, specifically when it comes to powerlifting, because bodybuilding is a different beast. You have to lose into the show, blah blah blah. But any performance based like strongman or stuff like that, grow into your show. And the minimum,
I entirely disagree.
Well, sir, that's okay.
All you have to do is you just have to stay lean and then cut water at the end.
But
you drop 20 pounds. You drop 20 pounds, you make a low weight class, and then because with glycogen recompensation, you're considerably stronger than you would be otherwise. So the glycogen recompensation really works well. Like the slingshot effect, your strength goes through the roof, and you feel like a fucking god.
Yeah. I will say this, I mean, if you can do that, that's fine, but a lot of people just get too fat in their little off season, They just get too fat, and it's a problem.
Well, I just stay lean all the time because I don't see any reason to be fat, but...
That's true. I mean, I'm the same way, but, Then again, we're just two dumb guys on the internet. But, when it comes to low dose... He asked 100% dumb question. I'm going to put my my input on this. So, exogenous testosterone, right? Testosterone that you do not produce.
Right.
Will always, it seems to be on paper, be stronger than regular testosterone, than your naturally produced testosterone. Maybe that's because there's less of a fluctuation. Maybe that's because of whatever other reasons, but it seems to be more powerful. You can get away with being on a quote-unquote TRT doses and that being extremely effective for body composition. extremely effective for strength. Whereas if you had those T levels when you were not on TRT, you would be weaker. And it's just one of the mechanisms, right? It's just what happens. At least in my experience from the research that I've gathered and everything like that. With that being said, start at that and work your way up if you need to. But you really, upping the dose at some point becomes counterproductive. But when it comes to orals, so people have this misconception that you need to run the maximum dose of orals all the time, right? So like, instead of running 10 milligrams of D-ball or 20 milligrams of D-ball, they have to run 50 or 75, right? Because that's just their starting, you know?
That's what they start at.
Right. And
Jesus.
The problem with...
Does it seem to you that everybody is either, they're on one end of the spectrum or the other, where they're just like balls to the wall and they just take handfuls of everything and they lose their fucking minds, or they're so goddamn scared of their own shadow that they talk about PCT literally 23 hours a day and then don't take any gear at all anyway? Like, what the fuck is happening?
So
if I get one more fucking question about PCT, I swear I'm going to put my fucking head in the oven. Because it's who cares? Either take it or don't. You don't have to ask, literally, you have to ask no one a question about PCT, ever. Either you're going to take it or you're not. If you are growing tits, take it. If you're not growing tits, you don't need it. Let's move on with our lives.
Also, another, something that happens when it comes to stuff like that is, just like with the TRT dosage I was talking about earlier, people have many cards that they can play when it comes to getting results. And if you blow a couple of your cards right before you even get any results, what's the fucking point? You hold back on the orals until you need to up them. That's it.
How big are these cards that we're blowing? Are we talking like, is it like a 5-inch card that you can handle it pretty well without it hitting the back of your throat, or are we going bigger than that?
So basically, it's like those people that
you're just not even going to address that.
Yeah, it's like those people that diet and then they just crash everything all at once, right? So they just throw everything at it all at once, and then they have no cards to play, and then it's like, oh my god, why is this not working? It's like, because you did that. Now you're sitting there on 1,500 calories or what the fuck ever, how low you go, and you're just not going to lose any more weight after about 4 or 6 weeks. You're just going to stop, Yeah,
because you've done everything there is to do. There is no room for tinkering.
So when it comes to drugs and stuff like that, when it comes to anabolics, pull back. Let yourself have some cards to play. Don't fucking throw all your cards, ram them down someone's throat. Don't do that. So that's my opinion on low dose stuff. It's just another card you can play, and don't blow your load before you even.
And I wouldn't say go so low. So you'll run into the people who are like, "Oh, I'm doing 10 megs of VAR a day. Like, how much do you think I'm going to gain on that?" Well, fucking nothing. And also, stop asking people how much they can expect to gain on anything, because nobody fucking knows. They're just going to tell you bullshit. Don't ask anybody on the internet. Don't ask me. Don't ask Bryce. Don't ask anyone. You know what you can do? Test it out. And if you didn't gain as much weight as you thought you should have, maybe you weren't eating enough, you weren't sleeping enough, you weren't training enough. But all these things factor into it, so nobody can give you a fucking answer.
The amount of biological variance in one individual to another is dumbfounding.
You want to know, when I was running 100 megs of Anadrol a day, I think I gained 4 pounds.
Yeah.
I don't hold any water. I'm not a person who blows up. And I also didn't notice any extreme strength gains. What I did notice is that my ability to drink alcohol went from unbelievable to catastrophically little. Like, if I smelled fucking vanilla extract, I'd be laying on the floor for 2 hours. So, like...
Hide your cupcakes, man.
Yeah.
Hide your cupcakes.
It was brutal, Jesus Christ. But, so nobody can give you a good answer on that, and stop asking the fucking question.
Yeah. So, and I think that sums up this episode, guys. Thanks for sticking with us. By the way, in case you couldn't gather in this episode, training is the answer to almost every one of your problems. Or it can be. You can use it as one. You can use it as, like I said before, the cards analogy. It's another card you can play to deal with your life problems. Whether that's you want aging better, whether you want to be stronger, whether you want to be fitter, whether you want to even pick up your grandkids one day. Because there are some people in this world that when their newborn baby is born, they cannot pick it up because they're so damn weak.
I've never heard of such a thing, but that's horrific.
It's those girls lifting those pink dumbbells, man. It's that whole crowd. Like, women don't want to get quote-unquote bulky, which is not how it works. Please stop. It hurts. But anyway.
I wonder what our demographics of this podcast are. I would be willing to bet it's somewhere between 99 and 100% male.
Hi, the one girl that's listening.
Yeah. Hello to you. We appreciate your listenership.
Yeah. But it is one of the most important performance enhancers that you can use, training, to your life. You know,
training, eating, and sleeping. All of the rest of it, all the supplementation, all the drugs, that's all extra. It's the icing on the cake. It's not the cake.
Right. And every chance that you get, you should be chasing. Like, if you want to live your life optimally, you should be chasing every little percent. Because if you do things that is 1%, if you do one thing that's 1%, makes a 1% difference in a positive way, and you do 10 of those things, that's 10%. I mean, how much would you kill for 10% on your deadlifts? You know? That's a big amount. That's significant. I mean, 10% adds up to 20% adds up to, I mean, it's a almost an avalanche, you know, of just benefits that you can gain from just making sure that your sleeping is regulated, making sure that your training is regulated, making sure that your diet is regulated. And if you haven't noticed, some of the smartest research scientists in the world, what do they all have in common? They do regular exercise and they control their diet. That is a fact.
Buckminster Fuller, the guy who invented the geodesic dome, he was one of the original paleo guys.
Yeah. He
was huge on paleo, and he trained a lot.
There's proof. And, you know, there's other people like Rhonda Patrick. She's actually someone who has a podcast. She is into the fitness stuff, but she's a researcher. So,
I've never heard of her. Who is she?
Yeah, she has some interesting. She does some interesting stuff. You might want to check her out. She has a podcast and everything. She was on Joe Rogan.
Huh.
She's pretty cool. But also she surfs, which is also cool. But anyway, it's important for you guys to get this message out to everybody. So please, if you can, share this on your social media. Get people to listen to this, because you could be saving someone's life. And I am a true believer that training, nutrition, and sleep, regulating my sleep, has actually saved my life. So, with that being said, I think we will sign out.
I have one thing to add before we sign off.
Go ahead.
And this is apropos of very little, but I discovered it yesterday. I posted about it on Facebook because I found it so interesting. I thought I'd add it in here. I find it very interesting because when you think of early movies, like superheroes who were in the early movies, like the Batman and Superman, the guys who played those characters were typically not muscular at all. And then you look at the guys who are playing them now, you know, like Henry Cavill got jacked, stuff like that. You're looking at guys who are pretty muscular. That is actually turned on its head with this new Shazam / Captain Marvel movie that's coming out. The guy who's playing Shazam in it, and Shazam is basically like a magical ripoff of Superman. I won't go into the lengthy history of Shazam. In any event, he's a magical ripoff of Superman. The guy who's playing him was in the movie on the TV show Chuck. He doesn't have a speck of muscle on him. The original Shazam was fucking jacked. He had he could clean and jerk 213 with his right hand.
Yeah.
Like fucking beast. I just think that's cool as shit, because when you think of those old timey guys, like they were just in baggy outfits looking like jackasses, and now it's a little turned on its head. I thought it was intriguing.
Yeah. And another thing about that too is people were actually wanting The Rock to play Shazam. There was a big movement for that.
He's playing Black Adam, who is, I think, the bad guy now in Shazam, and he's getting his own movie.
So they made the bad guy muscular. Okay, that's fine. I'm not gonna fucking be salty about that. But in any case, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. We are almost at 1,800. When we get to 2,000, there will be a gigantic giveaway here on. And
you can also download these episodes on SoundCloud if you're bored and you want to re-listen.
And just for convenience sake, I will also link the blogger who turns skin removal into necklace, so that you guys you can have your right eye twitching as mine is right now. So, with that being said, thank you guys for giving us a listen, and thanks for all the comments. As always, keep the questions rolling in, because we will have a Q&A episode.
Just because I keep screaming, stop asking stupid questions, doesn't mean you should stop asking us stupid questions, because we like to yell at you.
Yeah, and for that guy who's a weak 20-year-old, we wish you the best of luck. Keep going.
Yeah, remember, there's no such thing as stupid questions, just stupid people.
Yeah, and they're not our listeners, guaranteed. So, that being said, we're signing out.
Right. Later, guys.
And this is to go even further beyond